Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Next Man Up podcast, episode 2. We are back this week for a pretty big episode. We're going to do a Major League Baseball season preview. This should be pretty fun. Austin is here, of course.
Glad to be here.
Yes, let's just want to discuss like episode 1 went pretty well, our distribution. We are now on YouTube as well. Decided to do that just because it's a lot easier for people as well.
Yeah, go
Um,
subscribe to that.
Yes, so please go subscribe to that. The channel is just called Next Man Up, and episode 1 is on there. So if anyone wants to go take a listen, it is on there. It's a lot easier listening to the podcast on YouTube, because you can just kind of put it in the background of anything, and we figured that would be a good move. And it's also as well on Spotify and Google Podcasts now as well. It's on pretty much everything. We're still trying to get Apple
Yeah.
Podcasts. I think that'll be
Yeah.
just taking a little bit to authorize. But I also wanted to announce the new episodes will be released on late Wednesdays. Sometime during the day, Wednesday, we will drop it. We decided to record Tuesday nights. So that should do it. All right. So that's
We
enough
go.
of the announcements. We're going to get right into here. Major League Baseball season is almost upon us. We're in the about midway through spring training, and we've already seen some pretty interesting things from a lot of teams. A lot of teams' farm systems have been shining, to be quite frank, and we're pretty excited for this season. I think it's gonna just a lot of new teams are just ready. They're ready to make this postseason push, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's start. We're gonna do first some division predictions. We're just gonna predict who's gonna win the division, and we're just gonna go down the list, and we're gonna just talk about what they hold in the lineup, pitching, anything. So we're gonna start with the AL East. This is a very contentious division. It seems like Austin. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, everyone is counting out the Rays, but
Yeah. There's four teams that have a shot to make some noise, and you just got the Orioles there. I mean,
exactly, it's it's. I mean, it's arguably the best division in baseball. Honestly, this is like four possible playoff teams. So we're gonna get right into it. So I guess we'll just go back and forth and say who we believe will take first in the division. So, okay, so first place in the AL East, I have the New York Yankees. I think this team is the only thing that's preventing them from winning a World Series is just injuries and health. They really need to stay healthy. And I feel like that's a lot to ask for from a lot of these guys like Judge, Stanton. Seems like Stanton plays 10 games a year. Um,
yeah.
that just needs they need to get healthy, or because their window I feel like is really closing fast. You got to pay a lot of these guys soon, like Judge, Voit, Torres. All these guys need to get paid soon. So their window's closing. And even Cole. Um,
Yeah.
they need to bulk up. Um, they did sign Corey Kluber. They went out and got the kid from Pittsburgh, Jameson Talon,
That's
who
happening.
is a solid starter. I like that move a lot. Um, I think this is kind of their year. I think they're gonna win around 98 games. I believe if everyone stays healthy, but again, that's a given. Um, but this lineup is just stacked. It's that's no debate. I just totally see them winning it. I don't see uh how they can't. Um, but yeah, what do you think, Austin?
So yeah, I got the Yankees 2-1. Same stuff you were just kind of saying. Like their key is staying healthy. If they stay healthy, they're gonna win the division. I don't think it'll be that tough really either. I mean, it's a good division and all, but like they are just heads and shoulders above everyone in my opinion. Like, you can say they're probably one of the best teams in the AL when they're healthy. And I think they made the rotation a little bit better. We still got to see what Kluber does.
Right.
Seven is going to be back soon.
Mm,
Uh, German's all right. I mean, not a bad five guy or Montgomery. Who do they have? I mean, it depends whoever's healthy and who's there.
It's
Uh,
not bad. I mean, I'll give credit to them because that's been kind of one of the major knacks they've
yeah,
had is just the bottom half of the rotation is just terrible, and it's always spot starts from guys from AAA.
yeah.
It seems like they kind of at least solidified a real rotation this year.
The bullpen still it has some question marks. I mean, Chapman's getting older,
Yeah.
Britton's
No.
and after that, it's just kind of like putting together guys. I mean, they gave us Ottavino for nothing. Like,
Mm. Yeah, it seems like their bullpen has I think always been very good. I'm not a huge Chapman guy.
yeah,
I think the whole lore of it, him being this, just ultra closer, pitches 105. I think it's kind of just over. I think a lot of hitters don't really care anymore, just because it seems like everyone throws 100 miles an hour now. So I don't really think it phases anybody. I mean, he blows, it seems, every playoff game, elimination game they have. So I don't know what's up with him. I think he'll obviously still be solid, but and they have a lot of Chad Green's a nice setup guy.
yeah,
He 2020 he was kind of off, but before that he was really stellar out of the pen, as well as Britton too. I think he actually had that surgery today, so I think he
yeah.
might.
Braden just got a surgery, so he'll be
Yeah,
out for a month.
yeah. That shouldn't affect him too much.
And
I think that's just a ton
spoiler,
of guys.
Garrett Cole's my side.
Yeah. Then they signed Darren O'Day, which I thought was interesting. But,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that, that could be a sneaky signing if he performs like he usually does. But
yeah, not bad at all. But yeah, I just final thoughts on this. I really don't see it anyone else in this division winning it. This lineup is just stacked. It seems like they just have hitters everywhere. I wouldn't want to face just any part of the
yeah,
lineup. So,
every lineup.
all right. So, we're going to second place. So I have the Rays at second. How about you?
I got the Blue Jays actually.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
trying
like
to,
it's,
but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, I feel like it's very interchangeable. I was struggling with this. I think it's going to be, one or two game difference. Whoever takes second place and takes the wild card. We could also see both of them get a wild card. I could see that. That'd be kind of neat actually. But I think the Rays, a lot of people are counting them out now, but it's pretty much the exact same team besides Snell. They
Yeah.
shipped him out of there. Um
And I saw
which
something like Snell didn't even really he didn't contribute that much to the team last year, but we'll
no,
see.
he was on a big I remember in 2020 he was on a quite a big like innings restriction. I remember he really
Yeah,
only pitched
like
like 4 innings a
5 minutes.
game.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
the whole analytic defense is really bizarre to me. I
Like
think,
the World Series a little bit, taking out
yeah,
Snell early.
it's just, and I think he wanted to get out of there. Um, it seems like he really wasn't a fan, obviously, of the culture, and I'm glad he's actually in San Diego. I think he's gonna be a pretty good option there. But anyways, it seems like the Rays always kind of just put out a good team. They kind of out every year, but they put out a good team. You got Meadows coming back, obviously, and
Yeah,
then
I'm a big
Rosario
Meadows.
now. He's gonna have a full season. I mean, I don't think he's gonna be that great, but I think he's a 30 home run guy. He's gonna hit 260. It's not bad at all, and he steals bases as well. So this is just a really solid lineup, um, all along. Um, and again, this some of the best defensive team in the league. And then the rotation, yeah, Glasnow now.
They always put it together there. That's their strong point.
Yeah, it is. And they signed Chris Archer and Rich Hill, which I thought was interesting. That's a Rich Hill's a good veteran pitcher.
Yeah,
I wish the Sox honestly got him.
that would have been decent.
Again, yeah, and Archer, not really a
Like,
fan of him. I think he's been awful, but I think he'll be somewhat decent, essentially, because he's
never know.
back.
Maybe he have his career there,
Yeah.
coming back.
No, exactly. And they also got Waka. I think they've had him. Did they sign him this offseason? Or have they
Yeah,
had him for
yeah, it was a
okay.
soft.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the projected starters, it's the rotation's a lot of new guys besides Glass now is obviously the ace now, so I think that gives them some extra confidence.
I'm
Looking
not
forward to
looking
see.
right now. Who is? Can you name the 1 through 5 of their rotation? I want to hear
Yeah,
it.
so it's Glasnow, Rich Hill, Chris Archer, Ryan Yarborough, and Michael Walker. And then you got Kittredge, who's the sixth guy. I think are they one of the teams that does a six-man rotation? They
Yeah, they do
might.
like the bullpen starter, every like
Yeah, yeah, that
years.
that makes sense. But they okay, but I think this team is very much capable of getting second place. I really see it. And then of course you look to they have the number one prospect in baseball, Wander
Wonder for
Franco, who's
hopefully he's up this year. Maybe not though, but if
yeah,
not,
it seems like I think he's only played like single A. I think they'll sit him out one more year. Um,
yeah.
but who knows? I could see him up by maybe the summer or the fall if they're making a good push. Um, but yeah, it's I think it's a really solid team all around. But yeah, Austin, go ahead with the Blue
Well,
Jays.
I picked the Blue Jays because I don't know, like they made a lot of good signings this offseason. I think they were pretty close last year. I mean, they made the playoffs and they expanded, so that's already a good sign. And then you add that veteran like Springer to kind of like mold it together. I feel like he's really going to help that lineup. Like the young guys like Vlad, Biggio, what's his name? Why am I blanking? Bichette. But yeah, like they have a ton of young talent. And they made the rotation a little bit better. I mean, you got Robbie Ray. Steven Matz is a decent like end of the rotation guy. Tanner Roark. I mean, it's just all around. I like their team a lot. The bullpen is kind of lacking a little bit. Like that could be why they don't come in second place. But yeah, the lineup. I love the lineup, and uh, I think Bo Bichette's kind of a breakout year actually. Same
Yeah, I
with
mean,
Vlad.
yeah, I think Vlad is due for that kind of just next step, and I think he is capable of it. He did cut 50, like 40 pounds, so
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm yeah, I'm really looking forward to see that. And
He was like a sleeper MVP pick, kind of, if he
mm,
gets hot.
absolutely, yeah. So I will get into the Blue Jays in a minute because they're my third place team. So let's go to third place now. So I have the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, I think it's gonna be very close, second and third. I could see it going either way. But okay, this lineup is stacked. Signing Springer really helped that. So they have
Yeah,
Springer. They also got Marcus Simeon, who's a very underrated
yeah. I
player.
didn't even mention that Simeon's there now. That's gonna also help.
Yeah, they got a couple vets with Springer and Simeon to kind of mentor Bichette, Guerrero. They also got Teoscar Hernandez, who's a monster. Um, these guys are very capable of hitting 25 plus home runs, each of them. And
Yeah,
then also obviously Biggio is a really nice option in the infield, and they still got Gurriel as well. So I really see a nice season from them. The starters are I'm not a biggest fan of the rotation. I like
yeah.
Ryu.
I like
Yeah,
see. I like Pearson. A lot. That's why I think Pearson's a stud in my opinion. And then you have Ryu. But
yeah, I think
yeah,
Pearson kind of he needs this new season. 2020 he was pretty bad, I believe. I'm not 100%,
yeah. I
but
think he's kind of like the growing pains, kind of.
sure, he
Yeah,
obviously their top prospect at one point. And they also got Robbie Ray. Uh, and he'll be their two guy most likely. They also have Tanner Roark, and then they got Steven Matz. So it's not terrible, but I just think the offense will pretty much make up for it. So who do you have, Austin, for third place?
I got the Boston Red Sox.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's hear.
uh, So yeah, I mean, from the start, I mean, you got Verdugo, Bogarts, Devers, Martinez. Like the lineup's there.
Mm,
Dalleback, who is going to be a beast in my opinion. Like that dude is so strong. Like
right.
he
Yeah.
is very underrated this year. I feel like.
Mm,
Oh yeah, you got Vasquez, great defensively, pretty solid bat. Um, Obviously you got the rotation. I mean, that's what's going to hold them back. I mean, that's why they're not a great team right now.
mm,
uh, like to start, you're going to have Erod there as your number one. I mean, that's not bad, but then you have it drops off to Evaldi as your two. Then like your favorite Garrett Richards or Martin
ah,
Perez.
Oh God. I'll get
That's
into
in
that in
baseball coming
a
back.
minute.
Um, yeah, I like what Bloom's doing. Uh, and right now in spring training, Duran's looking like a bright spot. I think he's the future center fielder here. Obviously Verdugo on right. Left field's a little bit of a question mark. I mean, right now I think you would say Renfro is going to start.
Yeah, not a
Like
fan
it's
of him.
the other day. Um, Obviously we got Frankie Cordaro in the Benintendi trade. I think
Mm,
he has raw potential, but he's not quite there yet. Like
mm.
he could be a decent player, but I'm not sure if he's ready to like be that yet to like be on a contending team starting. But you never know. Maybe he surprises us. Kike, I think he's a great like utility guy. I mean, he's not a star obviously, but just a great guy you can plug in, and he has World Series experience, with the Dodgers, uh, and he always kind of just came up in the right spots. He was always there, and then yeah, it's pretty much it. I mean, the bullpen it got a little bit better with Ottavino, and then you got Sawamura from Japan,
Mm.
pretty good arm from Japan. Matt Barnes has his moments.
Mm.
Uh, Hopefully Ryan Brazier has a 2018 season that would help a lot. But yeah, it's basically my thoughts on the Sox.
Gotcha. All right, so we're getting to the fourth place now. Um, so I have the Red Sox. I think it's I think they're a 500 team. I think they're an 81 team. Like genuinely, I don't think they'll be
Yeah,
under 500, but they'll be over 500 by just a couple games. I think this lineup's still very good, even with Mookie gone, Benintendi gone,
yeah. The
Bradley gone.
lineup's elite. It's just the pitching. If they can just get pitching, they can be so good.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of Verdugo. I really like him. Obviously, love Bogarts,
Yeah,
Devers as well. Martinez, I think he'll have a bounce back year. Kind of quiet in 2020. I don't
yeah.
really,
I think not having the video room kind of hurt him a little bit.
yeah, not really a big deal. I'm not concerned about it. And Vasquez, one of the better catching options in the league. Um, and then again, like you said, Cordera, again, a lot of raw potential there, but I think he's not really a great hitter. Um, Also seems
Yeah,
to get hurt a lot, has some injury problems. But again, like you said, Dalbeck, he's gonna be up. He's a 30 home run guy. Probably hit 230 around there. And that's fine with me. That's all he really is. And he's a power hitting first baseman. So but onto the pitching. I've been very critical of the pitching. I think okay, you're gonna have Erod at one, who is a pretty good option. But I don't think he's a one. I think he's
yeah.
a
He's a really good two
three.
on a good team.
He's a three on a good team. Um, I
That
think
too.
he's a 10 win, 12 win guy, if that. Um, Maybe sub three ERA around there. You got Evaldi coming back, who, um, again, just I see what Bloom is doing. He's doing that kind of money ball approach to this team, kind of just cheap guys that can produce. Kind of like he did with the Rays.
So you can kind of see
Um,
that raising influence on the team a little bit.
yeah, this is a very Rays team. Besides kind of the lineup, I think the pitching is
Oh
very Rays feel, but and then Garrett Richards that I thought was a kind of a terrible signing. I don't really he hasn't been good in like 5 years. I think 10 million was a lot of money to give to a guy
yeah,
who is constantly hurt and hasn't had a good ERA since 2015. Um, I think he is a under 500 pitcher, and he'll have a. I'm I'm being serious. He'll have a 5 ERA to end the season.
I could see it.
Yeah, he's not looking great spring training, which again you can't judge a player from spring training. But I'm just saying these are spring training players aren't that great. They're playing their farm system. They're and he's getting lit up in 2 innings, like 4 runs. And what are you doing? And then Martin Perez,
We know we're
I
gonna
think
get just decent.
yeah, Perez again, very similar to Richards. He's an under 500 pitcher, He'll have a 5 ERA around there. Um, and then Nick Pavetta, we got him from Philly. I think he'll be okay. I don't know. I don't know how I think he pitched today. I didn't know how he looked. I think he had like one earned
I think
run over two.
yeah. I
Yeah,
heard
okay.
he had some pretty good stuff today, but we'll see how that translates.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about him just because he's a five guy. And then of course you have Sale. If he comes back, I think he'll come back probably summer around there.
Like June.
Um, and personally, I don't think he's gonna be the same Sale. I think he's gonna be a 3.5 ERA guy. He'll have a few good wins, a lot of strikeouts, of course. But there's a lot of work to do on the rotation.
Yeah.
Um, that's all I see. But and the prospects, the farm system's looking nice. I didn't think so before the Mookie trade. It was actually pretty depleted. I think it was one of the
Yeah,
worst in the
I
league.
mean, Dave Dombrowski got rid of all of them to win the World Series. But
Yeah, exactly. And that's a move that honestly worked in their window because it was a very World Series or bust team. So that's fine with me. But now they got Jeter Downs, Tristan Cassis. I'm not sure. Um, you know, that's two first basemen with Cassis and Dalbec. I
yeah,
assume.
I love Tristan Cassis personally. I think he's going to be like a stud. Now, I think we have too many infielders. It's going to be hard to
Yeah,
choose,
we do.
but we'll figure
And
that out once we get there.
yeah, and look, this outfield is spotty, I'm telling you. So you have Renfro, Cordero, and then probably Enrique. It's bizarre to me how we went from Betts, Benintendi, and Bradley to probably one of the worst outfields in baseball. I'm not a huge fan of Renfro.
Definitely, defensively, probably, yeah, for
He's
sure.
a he's a 200 hitter. Renfro. He'll hit 20 home runs.
He'll
Cordero's
hit the 30 home runs, but like the average is just like terrible.
average is terrible. He can't hit. And then Kike is great utility guy. I like him. He's a good cheap option. I like the pickup, but he's one of the most inconsistent hitters in the league. It seems like he'll have a week span where he goes 500 on the plate, then he'll just go 1 for 40 then next month.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. So that's enough on the Red Sox. Who do you have at fourth place?
So I had the Rays sliding to four. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of sleeping on them a little bit, but I don't know. Like I just get this vibe from them that they're not gonna be the same Rays team we know. At least this year. Maybe next year they kind of bring it back a little bit, but this year I think they're gonna be kind of like they're still gonna be kind of feeling losing Snell,
Mm,
and then just kind of like how you were talking about earlier. Like I like Glass now, but personally, I think Rich Hill isn't gonna be like in Chris Archer. Like they're not gonna be good enough to like really like get them over the hump. Basically,
right.
no lineup, it's decent, but you know, it's the Rays. That's all I
Yeah.
really got.
Gotcha. Yeah. And we both have the Orioles in last place. I think
not
the
not
Orioles, just we're gonna be quick on the Orioles. I think the Orioles are going in the right direction. They have a nice farm system, but they're not there yet, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. And the
yeah,
rotation needs a lot of work. It's very bad. So I assume you have the same thoughts
yeah,
on them.
same thing. I mean, I like some of their prospects they have coming soon, especially that catcher. What's his name?
Yeah, Rushman, I think.
Adley Rutschman. Yeah,
Yeah,
he'll be good for them, but he's not ready yet.
no. All right, so now we're gonna go to the NL East, National League East. So I have the Mets in first place. I think the Mets, kind of just the ownership change, kind of changed the culture there. I really enjoy it. I think this lineup's kind of stacked. I mean, you have Nimmo, McNeil, Lindor, Conforto, Alonso, Dominic Smith, J.D. Davis, and then James McCann, who is a very solid catcher. Um, and then you go to the rotation. This rotation might be the best in baseball. Okay, you have DeGrom, Carrasco, Stroman. They just signed Taiwan Walker, and they're gonna have Syndergaard probably coming back this year. I think like late.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what
yeah. I think this team just feels to me like a World Series winning team. We'll get more into that later. But who do you have, Austin?
Same thing. I got the Mets here. That rotation's going to be a workhorse for sure. I mean, that's going to not going to carry them because I like that lineup a lot, but it's going to
Mm,
be one of the best in baseball. Um, lineup's really good. I mean, Nimmo, McNeil, Lindor, Conforto, Pete Alonso, who people kind of forgot about a little bit, but he'll be
mm.
back to what I feel like. JD Davis is very underrated, and they signed McCann, who I like a lot. Um, the bullpen, it's getting better. I mean, they need Diaz to be what they traded for. I mean, they traded one of the
Yeah.
top prospects in baseball for him. He's been
Yep.
kind of a bust. But
Very good
yeah,
point.
it's really all I got on them. I got them
Yeah.
at one.
Yeah, and the bullpen thing, it does need some improvement. I do like Trevor May a lot. He's a good setup man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I have on the Mets. I think they're a first place team. Okay. So second place, I have the Braves. I think again, this division is very interchangeable. I could see the Braves winning it as well. The lineup's obviously pretty much the same. They didn't really add to it that much. It's pretty much the same exact team,
Yeah.
honestly. You got Acuna, Freeman, Azuna. They signed him back. There are no Albies, Swanson, Austin Riley's decent power hitter. This lineup is stacked. I mean, it's a 30. You got 5 home run guys here,
Yeah.
possibly. The average is kind of spotty, but who knows? And then the starters, they lost Soroka for a little bit, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
He
But
was a
he might. I'm not sure if he'll be back this year. Maybe like at the end. But
maybe very late, yeah. But so you got Max
I
Fried.
think that's actually gonna. That might be why they come in second because of
Yeah,
that.
I'm not a fan of the rotation. Yeah, Freed, Charlie Morton, who's good. He's a very good option. Ian
He's a
Anderson.
Rays guy.
What'd you say?
He's a Rays guy. I mean, he's gonna give you
Yeah,
the. That's
he'll just go out there, 3 unruns, 6 innings, 5 strikeouts. Can't really ask for much more. But yeah, who do you have at second?
I got the Braves here too. Same reasoning basically. I mean, the lineup.
Mm,
It it's good. It's not as good as the Mets in my opinion, but then
gotcha.
the rotation's also obviously lacking. I mean, it's just basically to make it simple, the Mets got better and the Braves stayed the same, or you can even argue they got worse. So
Mm,
that's my thoughts on them.
gotcha. All right, so third place, I have the Nationals. I think the Nationals always kind of put out a good team. I really like Victor Robles. Juan Soto is probably my favorite player in baseball, honestly, right now.
Yeah.
He's one of the most complete players. He's an amazing hitter. He's a better hitter than Tatis, by the way. Very good hitter. I think he's kind of I think he's gonna have 40 home runs, 120 RBIs. This kid's a monster. Um, Trey Turner still very dangerous on the bases. They got Kyle Schwarber from
Yeah, that
Chicago.
was a good pickup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. I kind of hope he revamps because he was a very hyped prospect coming in, and he just really didn't perform. Very terrible average, but um, I think he will have a good season. Then you still got starting Castro, Yan Gomes, and their rotation still very good. Can't go wrong with it. They got Scherzer, Corbin, Strasburg. They just got Lester and Joe
Yeah,
Ross. Not bad at all. So who do you have here, Austin? Third.
I got the Nats here too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Juan Soto is one of the best players in baseball right now.
Yeah.
They got Josh Bell, which is gonna help that lineup out a little bit. Got
Mm,
Schwarber. It definitely got a little bit better, that's for sure. Now I'm not
yeah.
sure that will bolster them into the first place spot, but you never know. Anything can happen. Yeah, the rotation is gonna lead them pretty far. We'll see
Mm.
how it goes, but yeah,
Yeah. Very sneaky team, like usual, just like 2019. So in fourth place, I have the Phillies. I think the Phillies, they're still not going to get over this hump. I really like Girardi at manager, very good manager. But this lineup is um, it's not bad. There are a lot of good hitters on this team. I think McCutcheon's old. He's kind of washed now, but he can still provide some good value for cheap. Bryce Harper, of course,
yeah,
who is still a good player. Nothing wrong with that. I think he's overpaid, but I think he's a very good player. They re-signed Real Muto, which is I think key to them. That's
Yeah. That was
best
important.
yeah, best catcher in baseball in my opinion. Then they got Rhys Hoskins. I think he's a 30 home run, 220 average guy. Just power hitters. Um and yeah, and their starters. The rotation is it's good. It's Noah, who's an ace, easily a top 10 pitcher in the league. Zach Wheeler, they got him. It's not bad. So who do you have here, Austin? I assume the Phillies.
I got the Phillies also. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not going to go over the hump yet. They're missing some pieces, but yeah, you got Harper, JT, and Alec Baum, who I really like a lot. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
one of the top young guys in the league. Uh, like you said, McCutcheon's almost washed, I would say. Uh, yeah, I mean, like the middle lineup's like really good. They just have to. They're missing a complete lineup, and then just how good that division is. I mean, that division's probably the best in baseball. So,
Yeah, I
like, if
just
this is like, say they were in like the AL East or just I don't know any other division like NL Central, I think they probably win it. But with the teams they're going to be playing in the division, and then plus just they're not as good. Like, and honestly, like I don't like their rotation after the first two. That's just my
yeah, I don't
thoughts.
either.
Yeah,
Um,
that's my
yeah,
Phillies team.
not much to say about the Phillies. I think they're just seems like they underperform every year, and I just don't think they're ever going to.
I'm not sure if Girardi will get them over the hump either. So
No, nor do I. But yeah, okay. So fifth place, we both have the Marlins. It seems like Marlins again going in the right way. This lineup's very veteran esque. I kind of see what they're doing. It's obviously to mentor these young guys. You got Jesus Algar at first, Marte, in the outfield, Dickerson, Duval. It's pretty old, but obviously they're just completely going towards youth rebuild. Um,
sure.
the rotation's interesting. I think it's very sneaky. I love Sixto Sanchez, very good pitcher. They also got Gio Gonzalez. But it's again they're last place team for I think quite a bit. But
Kind
they're
of funny
going
because like the playoffs last year.
yeah
It's that's how
somehow. I think they were under 500, but yeah. Not much to say about the Marlins. I assume you have the same thoughts,
yeah.
Austin. Sweet.
They made
Yeah,
the
let's
playoffs, but it expanded, and I mean, yeah.
yeah. Not much to say about them. All right, so we're gonna go to the Central divisions now. All right, so AL Central, very contentious division, just like the AL East. So I have the Twins once again winning it. Just kind of my reasoning is love the lineup. Again, it's very I love kind of the veteran style, like Donaldson, Cruz. Cruz is still so good. Gives
Yeah.
you full season 40 home runs. He hits so well too. Uh Such a great just uh acquisition by them. I think a couple seasons ago. But I really like the lineup. And then Sano is a 40 home run guy as well. If when he gets a full season, you just gotta stay healthy. And the rotation, I like the rotation better than the White Sox. That's kind of why I have them over the White Sox. I like Barrios. He's a clear ace. I think he's a very good young guy. And then Kenta Maeda had a great season in 2020. I think I think he'll repeat. Then they got 3 to 5 guys is a little suspect, but I think it just gets them enough. I think they're 88 win team, pretty much. So
Yeah.
who do you have here,
So
also?
I have the White Sox in first. I mean, I'm in love with their lineup right now. I mean,
Mm,
Moncada, Abreu, Grandel, Anderson, who's a MVP dark horse, Madrigal, Adam Engel, Luis Robert, dude is a stud.
uh,
Yeah, and then I just personally like their rotation a little bit more than the Twins. I think Giolito, Cy Young candidate, Keuchel has that veteran presence, can still pitch pretty good innings. Lance Lynn, actually, I thought he'd be washed by now, but he's still putting up good numbers.
underrated.
Once you say, I mean, your average four guy, and then Carlos Rodon. I mean, not terrible. I like it all the way around. I mean,
Hmm.
I'll talk about more of them later because our
Yeah,
playoffs. Yeah, that's
for
it.
sure. Yeah, for sure. All right, so second place, I have the White Sox. I think again, this is a very close division. I think they could come first. I just think they're too young still. I really like the lineup. It's incredible. It's just really no weak spots, honestly. I think this is a team that'll probably average around 270, a team average. I don't think that's crazy. Um, and yeah, I love Luis Robert, love Moncada, but these guys are really young, and I just don't think a deep playoff run is possible for them yet. But again, they have a great situation. I love Giolito, love Keuchel, Lance Lynn, great pickup. And yeah, not much to say about them. But who do you have here at second? I assume the Twins,
I
Austin.
got the Twins. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Kepler, Donaldson, Cruz, and uh, Krylov. Buxton, he's like that JBJ kind of guy. Great defense, solid
Mm,
bat at times.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and then you got Barrios and Maeda, who I like a lot. I like those two guys a lot, but that 3 through 5 is just really throwing me off there. That's really the only reason why. And maybe like that lineup is slightly worse also. So just, I don't know. It won't be far off, but I had the White Sox over them.
yeah. It's yeah. Their bottom half of the rotation's kind of suspect, but okay. So third place, I have the Indians. I think the Indians can make a run at this. They're like that Rays team that can just kind of put
Yeah,
out a good team every year. Jose Ramirez, he's gonna have a full season. He's gonna be great. Does everything. Um, Picked up Eddie Rosario. I believe he was on Minnesota last year. Very good hitter.
yeah,
Very good bat. Love that. They got actually Reyes at the DH, who's gonna hit a ton of home runs. They got Josh Naylor. They got Roberto Perez still. Jake Bowers. They have a lot of solid hitters. I think this team's very possible of getting a wild card spot. Shane Bieber, obviously the clear ace. A lot of hype around him this season. We'll see how it goes. Zach Plesac, that Tristan McKenzie, a kid I really like, who's got a really nice
yeah.
set of pitches. So, not much to say about them. How about you, Austin?
I also got the Indians here too.
Mm,
I almost had them at 4, but at the very end I put them up to 3. But
gotcha.
they definitely sold a little bit this offseason. They didn't really try to get better. I felt like yeah, they got Rosario, but I don't know. I mean, they have some young pieces. I don't know. They really tried to cut their payroll. It seemed like a lot. And Shane Bieber's going to be a top Cy Young guy. Plezak's pretty solid. McKenzie, I mean, his potential. And then like the rest is eh. I mean, I'm not in love with their bullpen. I'm not in love with the second half of their rotation. But yeah, they have some good bats there, but nothing that really wows me. That's why they're in third. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of their bottom half of the rotation as well. I mean, the lineup. Um,
That too, yeah, the lineup.
yeah. So, all right. So fourth place. This is kind of hit or miss. I have the Tigers. I think they'll finish above the Royals. I think Tigers also. They're a team that are heading in a really good direction.
Yeah.
Just kind of their farm system stacked. I really like it. They have
Yeah.
Spencer Torkelson, who they took first in 2020. He's obviously their number one prospect. Got Casey Mize, who pitched last year in 2020. He didn't look too great, but I think he has obviously massive potential.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got Matt Manning, another pitcher. Riley Green, outfielder, young guy. He probably won't be up till next year, but uh, just why I think they'll come in fourth. Just I think the lineup is still it's not great. I think it's not going to be that great until all these young guys develop for them, and their starting rotation is very bad. You got Matt Boyd at the ace, so I'm not a huge fan of this, but they're going in a good direction. I think Mize will be the clear future ace for them, but not much
Yeah.
to say about them.
So I got the Tigers there also.
Okay,
They have potential to have one of the best rotations in the league soon with just all of their prospects they have. I mean, Manning, uh, what's his name? Casey Mize, and then what's his name? Tarek Skubal. He's
Mm,
also pretty solid.
yeah.
And you also got Spencer, who is obviously not a pitcher, but he's going to be great in that lineup. Uh, he's actually probably almost ready too, I heard, so he'll be there soon.
Mm.
Um, but then the lineup right now, like it's just like AJ Hinch, I think, is the only reason why this team is not going to finish last, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree. I agree. Yep.
I loved that signing. Like, not gonna lie, the Sox didn't get Cora. I kind of wanted Hinch. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, I mean, they have some like sleeper guys in the lineup, but nothing really special. I mean, I like Scope a little bit. Like you said, Matt Boyd is not a number one.
Yeah, it's
No,
not special.
pretty much washed. I mean, yeah, nothing really special there.
Yep. So now last place we both have the Royals. The Royals just seem like the lesser team in Kansas City. Obviously, I think they're kind of an afterthought at this point. But anyways, the lineup is I low key like it. I like Whit Merrifield.
I
They got
I do.
Benintendi. Yeah, they got Benintendi. They got Soler who hits bombs. They signed Santana, Carlos Santana from the Indians, who's a good hitter. Salvador Perez coming back, still very good catcher. And then Mondesi as well, who's he's a decent option. And then the starters, the rotations, they haven't had a good pitching in a very long time. So that
Yeah,
their current ace is Danny Duffy.
I do like Brady Singer a lot, though. Their top prospect. He'll be
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, exactly. Again, just another team that is a few years away from just competing. And Bobby Witt Jr. is actually their number one
Yeah, yeah. Bobby
prospect.
Witt's
Who he's got a couple of years, so not bad at
pretty
all.
special.
Yeah, yeah. Much to say on them. No.
Um, Not really. I mean, like I love what they did this offseason. I mean, they made a lot of good moves. It's just not enough. I mean, like I wouldn't be surprised if they're over the Tigers, but I don't know. I can't see it.
Yeah, it's I could see them being a sneaky team, like finishing 500, but nothing more than that.
Yeah.
All right, so NL Central. This is probably the worst division in baseball, in my opinion. I think it's just full of a lot of rebuilding teams that need a lot of pieces to compete. So on at first, I have the Cardinals. Um, I think the lineup's very solid. Obviously, they acquired Nolan Arenado from the Rockies. That it seems like for essentially nothing. Um,
Yeah. They
uh,
stole him.
yeah, they got Tommy Edman leaving off, who's a very good utility guy. You got DeYoung still, Goldschmidt, who's still a great player. Dylan Carlson, I think he was one of their top five prospects.
Yeah,
He's kind of nice.
I think he's really good.
Yeah, he'll be in the outfield. But yeah, it's a pretty solid lineup. I think they'll win the division at around 85 wins. I don't think it's very contentious at all. And the rotation is still, I think it's basically Flaherty and just a bunch of kind of just hit or
Yeah,
miss
that could
guys.
be why they maybe don't win the division, but I
Yes.
still think they'll pull it through.
Yeah. And so you have the Cardinals as well.
I have to be honest too.
Yeah.
Like you said, Arenado, Goldschmidt, DeHong. I love that middle part, and even like the end isn't too bad. I mean, you have some really good role players there.
Mm,
So Zach Flaherty's a stud, but he did struggle last year, I heard. But I'm not too worried about him.
yeah.
If they
Mm,
get some production out of the end of the rotation, they'll be all right. They'll be
yeah.
fine, and their bullpen's pretty solid.
Yeah, Norma. I'm not too worried. Division's pretty weak, so it is what it is. So we're gonna try to speed through
Yeah,
National League Central just because it's not too bad. I have the Cubs. I think the Cubs still. I think they're an 80 win team and they'll finish second. They're. It seems to me like they're kind of. I don't know. I just don't see it being a playoff team. I mean, they got a lot. They have a pretty solid lineup. They got Jock Peterson, who's been killing it in spring training. Chris Bryant, I think, is pretty overrated. They need to move him at some point. They need to move Rizzo as well. Just kind of get them off the books. And Baez, I think, is overrated. And then
yeah.
Hayward's on a terrible contract, and the rotation isn't good, to be quite frank. I mean, Kyle Hendricks is their ace, who isn't bad, but they brought back Arrieta, who is I think he'll be okay, but it's not
I think it's
a
pretty
good.
obvious, kind of.
Yeah, it's not a good team in my opinion. But who do you have at second?
I got the Brewers. I mean, I think they're gonna come back. They're gonna give the Cardinals a run. It will be
Uh,
pretty, but yeah. I mean, I like some of the moves they made. I mean, they got Jackie. That's gonna help out their outfield a little bit.
mhm.
Uh, yeah. I mean, Keston here is a good prospect. Obviously, Yelich can be one of the best players in the league. Colton Wong's not bad. Lorenzo Kane.
Yeah,
Rotation. Their 1 through 3 is gonna do them pretty well. The bullpen's like very good. That's gonna carry them
yeah,
up to.
uh,
Yeah, just have them at second. Nothing really special there.
yeah. So I have the Brewers at third. I think they'll finish with the Cubs like around the same wins. Um, very good lineup, of course. I love Herrera, Travis Shaw. These are good hitters. Yelich, good hitter. Kane's still a good hitter. Wong is nice. Um, Orlando Arcia, he kind of needs that. I think he was their number one prospect for a little bit. To he needs to get it together this season. Um, but he's a great defensive option. So, and then the rotation I like as well. But who do you have at third? Also,
I have the Cubs. I personally I did not like their off season at all. Like I
mm,
think they pretty obvious they're tanking. And they're probably gonna move some guys during the season, which is gonna hurt their record even more. So I just can't see them coming top two.
yeah, I think they needed to deal Bryant for prospects, but they didn't. I think they might at the deadline, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, so at fourth, um, I have the Reds. I think the Reds really, again, very sneaky team. Suarez is a great hitter. It seems like Moustakis, very nice. It's a very good lineup, especially in that ballpark. Great American Ballpark's very small. The fences are, it's a home run hitters park. So I'm not mad at it at all. Very good lineup. The pitching, I like the rotation. I like Sonny Gray. He's a very good option. He's kind of revived his career since leaving New York. He's been really solid with the Reds. And then Luis Castillo is obviously a very good pitcher. Um, I think it's a
Yeah.
good team, but I think they're like an 80 win team. But they still have some potential. So
I also got the Reds there. I mean, some solid starters they have. And then the lineup, it's It's nothing special really. I mean,
yeah,
you got
it's
Prado, Suarez, Castellanos. I mean, it's decent. And then uh I almost forgot they got rid of Bauer, which is gonna hurt a little bit. So I don't know.
yeah. I mean, he was gone from the minute
Yeah.
season ended. So, but yeah, and their farm system's pretty nice. It's like Hunter Green, who's yet to come up.
Yeah, I
I
like
think,
Hunter Green a lot, but
yeah, it's
we'll see.
still a year away, I think, but he should be out there soon. So, and then of course, both in last place. We both have the Pirates. This is probably the
Worst team in
worst
baseball.
franchise.
Not much to
Yeah,
say there.
the yeah, I don't
Though
even
I
know what to
do
say.
like Cabernet Hayes. He is going to be a stud. But
Yeah, yeah, but uh, this franchise is terrible. I don't
I
know what
don't
even
know what
happened.
they're doing.
I don't know what happened. I don't even know. Do they even have a good farm system? I don't even know. I'm sure they do, but
Besides like Hayes, it's not
yeah,
too good.
they got Nick Gonzalez, second baseman, but I don't know. And then, like you said, Hayes is nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, yeah, not much to say about that. Okay, so we are now going to move on to the West divisions. So in the AL West, I have the Houston Astros winning it. Um, I think this. I think when this team was formed, kind of in those years where they just were terrible and they
Yep.
really needed that extra hump to get over. I think this team is set for still a very long time. It's you have Altuve, Bregman, Brantley, Correa, Jordan Alvarez. Yuli Gurriel, Kyle Tucker. He's gonna have a full season. This lineup is it's arguably the best in baseball. Very good hitters in this lineup. Again, in that ballpark, uh, it's very easy to hit home runs. They're gonna win a lot of games. I think they're a 90-win team. The rotation, obviously, Verlander's hurt. I don't know if he had Tommy John, I believe, in
Yeah,
2020.
he'll be back in June or July, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's trending. He'll be out probably most of the year, but still got Greinke, McCullers. They just signed Odorizzi the other day, who's a nice piece. That was a very good
I like
signing.
that signing.
Yeah, I wanted him quite a bit. Uh, yeah, I should have got him instead of Garrett Richards, but this it's a good team. I really like it still. So who do you have here, Austin?
I got the A's here. I like what they did last year.
Mm,
They didn't really get much better or worse, so I'm just gonna keep them at one. And I didn't really think the Astros got much better to take that over. No, it was a shortened season, but like I think the A's just always find a way to do it. I don't know how they do it. I'm not really a big fan of them either. They manage to do it. And yeah, you got Olson here, Chapman, who I like a lot. Uh Loriano is a stud. They traded for Elvis Andrews. I didn't really understand that move for Chris Davis. I mean, it was kind of a cap dump, but
mm,
like, didn't really understand that. And really, I think I like the rotation. I mean, you got Mineo, Lizardo, who has filthy stuff. Chris Bassett's not bad. Frankie Montez, when he's healthy, isn't terrible. And then you got Mike Fires at the end, which is a great five guy or four.
mm.
So, and they always have a good bullpen. So
Yeah,
that's why I
by far.
won.
All right, so second place, I have the A's. Just like you said, they always manage to put a good ball team together. Um, Again, very analytics based team. I really like it. Um, Big fan of Olsen and Chapman. I think they're just really probably two best power hitting duo in the league. Um, they still have a good team, very defensive team. Dude, they got Mitch Moreland as well.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
forgot to say that Mitch Mullen was a good
yeah.
sign.
The rotation is kind of. I'm a bit worried. Manaya looked. He didn't look too great in 2020, but hopefully
Yeah.
the full season kind of gets him some more confidence back. And Lizardo is a nice piece. I like him. So, who do you have in second, Austin?
So yeah, I have the Astros here. I mean, I could easily see them win the division. It'll be close either way. Um, but yeah, I mean, Altuve, he's still gonna have a good season. I think Bregman's always gonna be there. Brantley's still solid. Correa, you know what Correa gives you.
Mm,
Jordan stud. Kyle Tucker, who I've liked a lot, but he hasn't like lived up to the hype he was supposed to be. Um, Hopefully, if he puts and now if Kyle Tucker is like great, maybe I think that changes my prediction. But
all right.
uh, rotation, that's what's kind of like holding them back a little bit without Verlander. I mean, you got Greinke, who's going to be declining every year until he retires. Um, Odorizzi, I mean, before Odorizzi, they were in big trouble there. I mean,
Mm,
that was not going to be too good. And I forgot who got hurt. It was one of their top pitchers in the bubble last year. Who was it? I don't know.
was
Anyways,
he?
one of their
Was
pitchers
a
got hurt.
starter?
He was like he would like come in and pitch a ton of innings. Like I forgot it was like James. No, what was it? I don't know. Anyways, I heard they're not gonna have him to the start. That's why they got Odorizzi. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I have him at second.
Gotcha. All right. So third, like this is a very predictable division in my opinion. So I have a third, the Angels. I still think they just underperform every year. I feel so bad for Trout. He's gonna have a monster season, of course, like usual. Rendon's nice. I really like Rendon. Otani, I think he is actually pitching in spring training. So it looks
That's
like he's
good.
gonna come back as dual threat there. They got Dexter Fowler, I think in a trade, I believe. Um, and it's a good lineup in a pretty nice ballpark. But this rotation just kind of It's gonna ruin it for the team. Their one is Andrew Heaney, who
Yeah.
isn't bad, but and then Dylan Bundy, who gives up 10 runs a game. Um I'm not a fan of it, but they do have Otani coming, but I'm just
Yeah.
not sure how good he'll be. So we have a third.
I also got the Angels. I mean, Rendon's gonna be there. Trout. I'm happy they got Rendon last offseason. That's gonna make
Yeah.
Trout a little happy. Uh, I'm surprised. I wonder if they'll start with what's his name up from AAA, one of their top prospects. He was an outfielder.
Oh, Adele.
Um,
Yeah.
Adele, yeah.
Mm.
I'm not sure if they'll have him up right away, but I feel like they should if they want to try to win. Um, but yeah, Fletcher, Walsh, Elton's all right. Otani's gonna give you pretty good power and like a solid average.
Uh,
Iglesias, that was a great sign. That's going to be underrated. I think he was great with Baltimore last year. So,
right.
and like you said, their rotation is like terrible. That's
Yeah,
all I
to say
got.
the least. Um, yeah, I do hope they can do something at least, but I'm just not sure anymore. All right, so 4 and 5. We're not gonna spend much time on this. Uh, Probably just we want to get to the NL West, but I have the Mariners at fourth place. I don't know. I really like Kyle Lewis, good player. But the lineup still has a long way to go.
Yeah.
As does the pitching. So I think
All three commanders. I mean, Kyle Seager's solid, Kyle Lewis, and then you got Julio Rodriguez coming up soon. I mean, Kelenic. They have a
mm,
great outfield future for sure.
oh,
But
by far. Yeah.
the rotation's kind of sus, but
Yeah.
it's the Mariners.
Yeah, pretty much
That's
same
really
old
it.
Mariners. Yeah.
Average.
All right, so then last place, I have the Rangers. This franchise doesn't really seem to be going a great way.
I don't know where
Uh,
they're going.
yeah, lineup is pretty below average, to say the least. The rotation also isn't great. They're just a last place team to me. They're pretty much like the Marlins, Pirates, along with that. I think they're gonna have 60 wins, honestly. So
Yeah, Rangers are my last place team. I mean, really bad lineup. I mean, Joey Gallo's going to be their only great offense there.
mm.
Maybe Chris Davis if he wants to show up, but we'll see. That rotation is terrible. I don't know what they were trying to do with that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's I just looked at it, it's terrible.
Kyle
Like,
Gibson, Jordan Lyles. Oh my God.
all right, let's get to some
Yeah.
actual good teams. All right, so National League West. I mean, this is pretty. I think it's top heavy. It's obviously Dodgers, Padres, and I think the rest are just not it. So I am going to go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say the Padres coming first. I think the Dodgers are pretty much, and my reasoning for this, I think the Dodgers are gonna underperform, and I think the Padres are gonna overperform. I really like the lineup. Tatis, we'll see if he has that similar season to 2020.
Yeah.
I think he will. 30 home run, 100 RBI guy. He'll hit 280. He'll steal 20 bases. Nothing wrong with that. And then of course Machado is a very underrated player. Still, he'll have 30 home runs, 100 RBIs as well. Very good hitter still. Hosmer, very solid guy, along with Tommy Pham, Will Myers, Jay Cronenworth, who's um very nice as well. Nice player. And then the starters, they really just went all out
Yeah.
this year for starting pitching. I just
I didn't see it coming, to be honest. It just happened so quick. I was like, what?
it happened very fast and it's gonna be even better. So Darvish, I'm not a huge Darvish guy. A lot of people like him. I was watching MLB Network the other day and I saw they were doing some rankings to like top 10 pitchers right now, and Darvish was top 5 in both of them. I think he's
Yeah.
getting slightly overrated.
He has
He
a
did,
season, but then like he'll just suck. So he has to have a good season for them to be one.
yeah, he needs to have a good full season that's not 60 games. So we'll see what happens. I think he'll still be solid. I'm not again. And then, of course, they got Snell, who has proven to be a very good pitcher in big games. Obviously, Game 6 of the World Series, he was great. Um, uh, and then LeMay as well. And then they have Paddock still, who's very good.
Yeah.
Joe Musgrove. And then kind of my key here to what I think is going to set them over is Mackenzie Gore, their number one prospect,
Yeah.
left-handed pitcher. He's going to be nuts. That's all I can say about that. I think he's going to really set them over. He's kind of an ace material starter, but I
Yeah.
think
And he'll be their
again,
number 5, which is scary.
yeah, I think the lineup is very. I mean the the West is very top heavy, and it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers are going to probably be like 1 or 2 games out, but I think they'll Padres will slightly be over. So how do you have here, Austin?
So I'm taking the safe pick with the Dodgers. I mean, they just won the World Series. They got even better. And I, mean, I know
Mm.
that the Padres did too, but like I'm looking at this Dodgers team and I'm like, I mean, like I want the Padres to win the division. Like if you ask me, I'd be like, yeah, I want the Padres to win it. But like
Uh,
I don't know. I see Mookie, Seager, Turner, who's still pretty decent. Bellinger, Will Smith, Max Muncy, AJ Pollock, Chris Taylor. I mean, does it go on? Like
yeah.
the lineup, everyone in the lineup can like just produce like crazy. And that rotation, I would say, is just as good as that Padres rotation. If not, you can argue it's even better if you want. Personally, I like the Padres rotation a little bit better, but like some people. Um, but yeah, Bueller, Bauer, which was just insane. I mean, I can't believe they got Bauer. Kershaw,
Yeah.
Price, who still has some stuff. May, Urias. I mean, and then they made their bullpen like their bullpen's really good. I mean, Canley, Trinan. I'm forgetting one more person. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I just I can't see how they don't win it, to be honest. Even though I want the Padres too, but
No, yeah,
yeah,
that's totally fair. I was going back and forth, and I have the Dodgers second place, of course. I just think they're so overhyped that they're gonna underperform, and a lot of people are
yeah,
just gonna
I
count
could
them
see
out.
that.
Yeah, it's very possible. Obviously, bet Seager, Turner, Bellinger. This is a very good lineup, no doubt. Just kind of no holes really in the lineup. I'm not really sure what they're doing with Lux, uh, but I think he'll just kind of play second base. I'm not sure, but then there's starters. You cannot go wrong with this rotation. Just
Yeah,
I actually would. I'm gonna go the opposite. Yeah, I like the Dodgers rotation better. I like Kershaw, Bauer, Bueller. That's three aces right there. And then Urias is gonna probably transform to a full time starter now. David Price coming back as well. He was out for 2020. They still won with him. And then Dustin May at six, the sixth spot, who will provide some nice spot starts. So very good team. All right. So who do you have? You have
I
second.
have the
Yeah.
Padres.
Yeah.
I mean, that team is very good. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Padres win the World Series, honestly.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I got. I mean, I would have said the same thing as you.
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much the same thoughts on this division. Um,
Yeah.
we're just gonna probably skim through these. Okay. Third, I have the Diamondbacks. How about you?
Yep. Diamondbacks. I mean,
Yeah.
they're kind of just falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like it. So that's some nice players. But fourth, I have the Giants.
Same.
Okay. Again, I think
I
they're
like the
kind of
Giants too, but that's it.
yeah. I'm surprised they kind of fell into irrelevancy like this. I didn't really see that coming. But um,
And
yeah,
then last we got the
got the
Rockies.
Rocky. Yeah, who
What are they doing?
still very good hitters. They had Story, Blackman still. I think most likely just going to be traded for prospects, honestly. So. And then the rotation.
Probably.
I don't even want to look at the rotation, honestly. So just just god awful. All right, so we're done here with the division standings.
You want to do
Um,
awards first, or?
yes, let's do award predictions. So I'm gonna have you. Let's do
Or
the
NL first.
AL first and go ahead.
All right. So my AL MVP. I mean, pretty boring, but I mean, Mike Trout. Every year, I mean, I'm gonna predict Mike Trout unless someone else proves otherwise.
Right.
Um, AL Cy Young, I like Garrett Cole here, like I said earlier. Um, I think he's gonna have a great year, full season. Second year in New York, he has the fans there now. I think he's just gonna be really good. I am a Cole hater, but like, I think he'll be pretty good.
Right.
And then Rookie of the Year for the AL, Jared Kelenic. I don't know why the Mets traded him for Edwin Diaz, but who knows? Um, this dude is a stud. I think he could honestly be an all-star if he plays enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, not much to really say with him. I mean, he's just five tool, amazing.
Yeah. He's very good to say the least. But um, so I'll go with mine. So Cy Young. I think the NL is so much better at pitching. It seems like.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with Garrett Cole as well. I think in 2020, a lot of people were kind of just they weren't really impressed, but he was very good. Um,
yeah.
and
He's a big reason why they went as far as they did. But
yeah, by far, he did not slow down whatsoever. He had 2.55 ERA. Um, it's great. He's a great pitcher. I just think he'll retain that award. So, and MVP, I have Mike Trout, just like you. It just seems like
every year he's there. I mean, you just can't.
every year, and then people say he had like a down year last in 2020, but he had 993 OPS, so it hit 17 homers in 53 games. So I guess obviously it's disappointing since he was on pace to hit a career high in homers in 2020, but obviously COVID happened, and um, but I think he'll get this award once again. Um, and then rookie of the year. Um, it's kind of tough. I'm going to go Jared Kalenic for Seattle, just like you. Pretty much have the same. I think the same
Yeah,
exact ones, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's
All three.
yeah. Obviously, just a consensus top 15 prospect, and he obviously was the centerpiece in that Cano deal, and
Yeah.
he's been a monster in minors. It seems like the clear winner here. So we're gonna go to the National League. Austin, who do you have exactly?
So MVP, I have Juan Soto. I think he's going to be one of the best players in baseball.
Mm,
The dude just does not have a weakness. He has one of the greatest eyes in the league. Insane power. Like just everything is there for him. I mean, not the best fielder, but like his bat makes up for that. Like the dude is going to hit 40 home runs, bat over 300, over 120 RBIs. I mean, he's just a stud. The Nationals really got one there. I mean, he's going to be an all-time guy.
I agree.
Um, NL Cy Young. I got Jacob DeGrom. I think he's just so good. Like every
Mm,
year, I don't see any signs of him slowing down. Really, like he's just always there. And the Mets are probably going to do well, so that will help his case. Uh, and then Rookie of the Year, I got Brian Hayes from Pittsburgh. He's
mm,
just five tool guy like Konak. Not as good, or at least proven to be as good, but I think he can get close to what Konak is doing. He played a little bit last year, which Konak hasn't. And
mm.
when he did play, he showed a lot of potential. So I got him at Rookie of the Year.
Gotcha. Yeah. So MVP in the National League, I have Soto as well. I think he. I'm gonna go on a limb and say he is the best pure hitter in baseball. I think
Yeah,
he just kind of steps to the plate and he's not worried whatsoever. And at 22 years old, it
I
just
think
seems
he's the best
really
hitter since like Pujols, to be honest. Like just pure hitting
yeah,
wise.
just insane. I mean, hit 351 2020. if he had COVID last year for a little bit, I think if he played the full season, he would have easily won MVP. Honestly, so I don't really see any slowing down from him, and he's still 22, which is just nuts to me. Um, Cy Young, I have Degrom as well. Just he is the best pitcher in baseball. There's not much to really say about that, and especially now with a good team around him, this could be scary. Uh, so I
Yeah,
don't see any slowing down there. I think he'll honestly have a one sub 2 ERA. Wouldn't be surprised if it's in the ones.
I
But
want to make a comment here. I think
yeah,
a dark horse for the NL Cy Young could be what am I forgetting it? Walker Bueller. I
yeah,
think he'll have a great year. I don't know. I have a feeling, a gut feeling.
I agree. I would agree with that as well. I think any pitcher, honestly, on that team has a
Yeah.
chance to be a little dark horse. And then rookie of the year, I was kind of having a hard time looking at, but I went with Ha-Sung Kim, who
Yep.
coming from the KBO, I think it's just
The
similar.
25 had him for like 10 minutes, and I was like, wait a minute, why am I forgetting Cabrines?
Yeah, I just think it's
Yeah.
similar to the Otani deal, and the fact that he's on San Diego, he's going to get a ton of
Yeah.
RBIs, homers, a lot of extra base hits.
That could be a
You
big
just
reason why he wins it, just because of like the market he's in. And
yeah,
yeah.
it's easy to kind of see him having a strong rookie year. So that is our award predictions. Would you want to? I guess did you want to give? I guess a early World Series prediction, like the two
Yeah.
teams you think. Yeah, go ahead if
So
you have that ready.
I got Dodgers, White Sox, and I got the Dodgers winning back to back.
Wow, you just see, like, do you see just 100 games? They're gonna. You see the 100 game winning season. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the White Sox are going to surprise people. I really do. I just love, and people are forgetting they got what's his name, Tommy La Russa, the coach. He is
Yeah.
an all-time coach. He's up there. I think
Interesting
he's going to
hire.
bring that team together. I think that's probably one of the best things they could have done because he's like a veteran coach. Like he knows how to get guys together, and they're so
Mhm.
young that I think he can get the best out of them right now and just bring that group together.
No, I agree with that. And then, of course, I forgot to mention they have Kopech coming back.
Oh yeah,
Um,
cool.
well, we'll see what happens there. I think um, he might throw his arm off, but I don't know. It seems like he throws 100 like every pitch, but
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, it's a good prediction. Uh, it's tough for me. I have the Yankees Mets. I think we're gonna have the once again a Subway Series World Series. I
That'd be
want to see
cool.
it
I
happen.
would like to see that.
I really hope it happens. I think it'd be great. And I have the Yankees actually winning it. I think the Yankees, I feel like we've been saying this every year that it's kind of their time to win.
Yep.
But I think
This might
really
be one
this
of the
year,
last years, too, like maybe 1 or 2 more years to get there.
yeah, their lineup is just so good. And I really, they need to stay healthy if this is going to happen. But just on paper, purely, I think they're the best team in the American League. And I just I see them beating the Mets just because of better managing as
Yeah.
well as just a better overall lineup. But I think it'll be a probably 7 game series just because of the pitching for the Mets will be insane if this series happens, and it might
I
keep
would
them.
love to see that, to be honest. Like that'd be
I
cool.
It would be amazing. So all right, so that's pretty much it for baseball. We talked a lot about kind of just our overlook and prediction. And we're definitely gonna have more baseball discussion. I believe next week we're actually gonna have a guest on. We're gonna discuss baseball, NFL stuff, and next week should align perfectly with hopefully
Free
some
agent.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully some. I think it starts the 17th, right?
Yeah. And the 15th is when they can start talking to guys. So
Okay, yeah. I so hopefully something happens there. It'd be pretty cool if something happened in the middle of our show, actually. But
I
we'll
kind of
we'll see.
wanted to talk about some stuff that happened today, if you don't mind.
No, yeah.
No,
Let's.
not just today, but yesterday too.
I was just gonna actually get to that. So
Yeah.
a lot has happened since the last episode with the NFL already. I mean, so today and yesterday was basically tag day. It seemed like just kind of teams putting their tags on players or whether they're just letting them go. But first off, we're gonna start with probably the move that started the whole kind of 2 day frenzy. Um, was the Dak Prescott signing. Massive
Wait,
deal.
160 million.
Yes, just a massive deal. Personally, I like the signing. I really
Yeah,
like Dak Prescott. I I think he's a easily a top 10 quarterback. No doubt. Throws a good ball. And the Cowboys needed to do this. They needed to lock up. Why not sign him?
why
Or
did it take
just
them so long to do this? Like, I don't
yeah,
understand
or
Jerry
even
Jones.
just like why even tag him and then deal with it later? Just get it done now. Just get your franchise guy locked up and that's it. So now they have team control of Prescott, I believe. Prescott, Lamb, Cooper, all under team control until 2024. So I think yeah, so I think their weekend their window is now open. But
Yeah,
in this draft, they need to bulk up on defense because it's abysmal.
yeah,
Um,
definitely free agency too. They gotta get some defense.
yeah, to say the least. And that's all I kind of really have to say about that signing. I do like it though. I don't see why if they wouldn't sign him. I don't see the reasoning for that. Why you have your guy right here that you drafted in I think you went the fourth round. That you got in the fourth round, your franchise guy. Why do it all over again and try to find the guy
You
unless you're
don't get a
getting a
franchise quarterback every year. I mean, like if you let him go, you're probably not going to be good for a little bit unless you get lucky.
yeah, and why I guess the only reason that I wouldn't is in a trade, a tag and trade with Russell
Yeah,
Wilson. But obviously that's gone
like
now. But
Watson, but like that wasn't going to happen probably. So
it wasn't, and Russell will probably be a Seahawk. So I do like the signing overall though. I assume
and
you
this
do as well.
morning we had Trent Brown traded, which was kind of caught me off guard. Like I didn't really see that happen.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. I like the move though. I guess they're definitely so the Patriots just for clarify, the Patriots traded for Trent Brown
Yeah,
earlier this morning. I believe they traded a fifth rounder for him.
got Trent Brown back, which is kind of weird. But
Yeah, it is a weird trade, but I kind of get the reasoning. I assume that the Patriots know that Tooney is probably gonna leave. I
yeah,
assume. He did
I
not get
actually I
tagged.
really like the line still without Tooney. To be honest, I mean you slide in Anuwu or I can't say his name, but the guy we got last
Yeah,
year. You
Michigan.
got Brown, him, Andrews, Mason, and then you can put Win there. Or I think they're gonna cut Cannon. To be honest, saves them some money.
Yeah, I believe it saves around like
And
10 million
then
in cap.
yeah,
I don't know.
9 million, 10 million. And then you also had like Leonard Williams was tagged today. Chris Godwin was tagged. Kenny Galladay was not tagged.
Yeah, yeah.
Allen Robinson was tagged. Hunter Henry was not tagged. And then Levante David got signed to a 2-year, $25 million deal. And then
Good
the
move.
biggest one of them all, Malcolm Butler was cut.
Yeah, I well to go back to the other ones. I
Which
did
one do you want?
not. I did not. Okay, let's talk about Godwin.
All right.
Um, I did not like that tag. I think that tagging wide receiver is kind of a bad idea. I'd rather just let him test the market or just try and
Tyler Johnson and AB just sitting there, like I don't know.
yeah, I completely agree. I don't think Godwin's really worth the money, and you still have a stacked receiving core. Um, Obviously, ABs. I don't know what they're going to do with AB. I'm curious to see that if
I
they'll just
wonder if
bring him
he'll
back.
play now. I wouldn't pencil him in anymore because like they don't have a lot of cap unless he like wants to stay for very, very cheap. But
No, unless it's like a minimum, which I could see that happening. I don't unless he just wants
I'm
to
just worried
win.
it's
But
Seattle, like or Seattle or Green Bay is gonna offer him like 10 mil and he'll just take that. But I don't know. I think he
yeah,
wants
I
to
know
be with Brady though, so
exactly. It seems like everyone does now. Even like there's a report the other day. Just Tom Brady wants the Bucks to trade for Odell Beckham. So, which is something that kind of was rumored forever when he was with the Patriots. Like Beckham loves Brady. I think they wanted to play together for a
I
very
mean
long time. I'd love to see that.
that can't
Um,
really happen now since Godwin's tagged, in my opinion. So
yeah,
that's kind
yeah,
of
that's probably over. Um, I, I just do not like the move. I really would have liked the tag on Barrett instead,
yeah,
and then sign David again to
yeah.
that 2 year, $25 million deal. That's a good deal because he is a bit older, so 2 years is perfect. Um, really like that. And then I could see them honestly cutting him in his final year of the contract because it'll just be that so much cap for him. And I'm not sure if Brady will even be there in 2 years. So um, I just think Brady's so used to working with guys that,
Bill.
yeah, or just Tyler Johnson. Like he will be solid if you just put him in there for sure. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my take on the Godwin thing. But I don't know if you have much to add on that.
Not really. I mean, he's a great receiver. I mean, I think probably top 20, top 15, but like you don't really need him for that money. I
You
feel like
don't,
receivers are so nowadays to replace. So
for the most part. Um, Plus, I didn't really like him in the playoffs. I dropped a ton of
yeah,
balls, so
cap issue.
I was surprised at the tag. But I think they're, and now we'll see if they'll sign Barrett again. I don't know now because of the whole cap thing. But I think Brady, obviously, they're going to try and restructure his contract to get some more room. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. But guess we'll
Want to talk
see.
about Galladay a little bit?
Yeah, Galladay. So he did not get tagged, of course.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, if I was Detroit, I'd let him go. Okay, he's 27 years old. He barely played last year. I just let him go. Obviously, the way this franchise is moving, they're just trying to do a complete youth rebuild. I mean, Goff is a bridge quarterback for them, and I'm sure they'll draft one either this year or next year, just
My
depending on
Jalen
what.
Waddle to Detroit. It's looking better day by day.
Exactly. I I could definitely see that happening. I just think they need to bulk up on defense or draft a quarterback because Goff is just really not the answer. But I think they're just kind of playing for pride and just playing for that draft pick to see how they do.
Detroit.
But we'll see. I like Galladay leaving though. There's no reason
Yeah.
to re-sign him. Plus, there's no
Where is
reason why
your?
would
Where do you think he's gonna go if you had to guess?
Galladay. Probably maybe. I want to. I don't. I would say New England, but I just don't see it happening
Yeah,
because I don't think Bill will pay him.
I could see like a Green Bay if they don't get Will Fuller.
I was just about to say Green Bay if they don't get Will Fuller. I think they have their eyes set on Fuller,
Yeah.
which because definitely Rogers needs a two guy.
Yep.
I mean I don't really know why Lazard isn't good enough because Lazard's pretty solid. He just doesn't really get that many looks, especially when Adams is getting 15 targets a game. So I don't know, but probably Green Bay, just somewhere like that. I don't really like signing wide receivers to big deals, honestly. But
Then you
um,
got Allen Robinson tagged. That was
yes,
good for Chicago. I don't know if it was good for him, but
I'm not even sure it's good for either. I'd rather just um see him go somewhere else. Of course, I don't
yeah.
think Chicago really need to bring him back either. I guess
That's what
Chicago
I'm curious
figures.
what they're doing. I don't know what they want to do. Like, are they trying to compete like hard, or are they just trying to like kind of be
Yeah,
average?
I was just gonna mention that. It's so hard to tell what they're trying. I guess they still think their window is open if they get. I mean, if they manage to get a franchise quarterback, and that's a scary team out of that division.
Yeah.
So the defense is still very good, and they do have some good weapons around them. So obviously, Allen Robinson would come back. They have Mooney, Demont out of the backfield, um, decent O line. It's a good team. So I'm not mad at that really.
Then you got Hunter Henry. I think he's a match made in heaven for Bill Belichick. I mean, I think Bill likes him a lot.
Yeah,
I would love to see that personally. I mean, as a Patriot fan, but
yeah. I would love to see it as well. Just kind of fill that tight end hole that we
yeah.
seem to have since basically prime Gronk left. And even then, we had Martellus Bennett. It's just uh, the Patriots are better when they have
Yeah,
a
they need
solid
that
tight end.
tight end.
Yeah, I just want to see like a 2 3 year deal. Um, and yeah, I think it's a good fit in the offense,
Yeah,
especially McDaniel's.
they
I
get
think
him in a
he's
receiver, they could look pretty good. And it depends who's playing quarterback, but we'll see.
yeah, yeah. It's um, I would love to see him. I think he actually does like seriously does end up in New England just because Bill likes him. I think with
Yeah.
all the cap space, he's willing to spend money on a guy
The
like
only thing
Henry.
that worries me with him going there is I saw something about him saying like he wants a great quarterback and he won't go somewhere if he doesn't think
Right.
they have a quarterback. So it's like we're gonna have to either get a quarterback first or just somehow pay him enough to come. But I don't know. I don't really want to overpay just for Hunter Henry, but we'll see.
Nor do I. Was there another one? I think you said.
I mean Malcolm Butler
Oh,
getting
okay.
cut.
Yeah, another interesting one. So he was pretty solid still last year. I believe he had
Yeah,
5 picks.
I pick. He had like a 60 completion percentage against him, like pretty good.
Yeah, he's still a solid option. I wouldn't be surprised if bring him back as well. It seems like they bring the whole band back together. Van Noy,
Yeah. Imagine
Butler.
like Van Noy. Uh, imagine they get like Collins back because like Detroit's not gonna want him.
Yeah,
That'd be a third stint for Collins if he came back. That'd be kind of funny.
yeah, it would be funny. But I could see that happening. But I think someone will pick up Butler. Still a solid option. Nice, like
I could see him going to like an Arizona or San Francisco.
yeah, Arizona, especially with Pat Pete. Uh, just kind of getting older. I could see that. So all
Actually,
right.
speaking about Arizona, Hassan Reddick actually wasn't tagged. Kind of surprised me a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, yeah, yep, yep. I I saw that today. That was kind of one that was under the radar, but um, I can see them still trying to rework a deal. I'm not really sure. I think Arizona is kind of a meh team. I think they're still a 9-7 team. I don't know. I'm not really impressed by them. I don't know about
Like
you. Yeah,
I gotta see them play, and if they do good, I mean, I won't be surprised. I mean, they have talent there, but I don't know. It's got to come together.
yeah. I want to see them do good. I just think they with the coaching and just how
I
I
mean,
think
Cliff didn't even coach Mahomes in college. I mean, that's kind of concerning.
yeah, and then just the fact that Kyler is so inconsistent as a passer. It seems like even with Hopkins, Kirk is a nice 2 option. I don't know. I really
Yeah.
don't know what this where this team's going. And then why I didn't really like that signing. Honestly, I don't see why you
Yeah,
need him.
that doesn't make them from like an ant to a contender. Like, it doesn't really put them over. I don't know.
It did not do anything for me. Nothing. He's gonna play 6 games anyway. It just really did nothing. So I guess we'll see though what happens with the upcoming season. But think we're gonna wrap it up here with
Yeah.
all the talk today. Just want to kind of also say so. Um, we're gonna announce an appearance on another podcast called To the Line podcast that is hosted by Will and Tristan. And I will be on there Friday. It's releasing on Friday. I'll definitely post the link to that on the Twitter. I believe Austin can't make it,
I
but
can't
I'll
make
be.
it. I plan on going some other time. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll be there to kind of promote everything and discuss. It's a basketball podcast. Definitely go check them out and just discuss whatever. So we appreciate everybody for listening. We please follow our Twitter, which is Next Man Up Pod C. That is the at. Follow us on subscribe to us on YouTube now. Next Man Up is the channel name, and yeah, just please go support, share, retweet, whatever, and definitely our
Definitely
Twitter is
welcome.
definitely the Twitter is the best to follow just because we post updates regularly. So we will see you all next week. Hopefully, some pretty big stuff happens. So
Hopefully.
we'll see everyone there. So everyone, take care.
See
We'll
ya,
see you later.
guys.
See ya.